So the issue of releasing, yes, yeah, people, terror groups use it, criminal groups use it. Oh, release 2 of our people, we will do prisoner exchange. You give me this, I'll give you that. But not in the sense that people were traveling on a medium provided by government, a train service owned by Nigerian Railway Corporation. And they were duly ticketed, even though some of them, we are hearing all sorts of stories, to travel from Abuja to, or Kaduna to Abuja. And then the train is hijacked. You know, the number of passengers there are varied, different professionals, individuals, families. So how would they begin to say who is going to be released and who will not be released? The thing is that the attack is sad, is disheartening, is unacceptable, and it must, all efforts must be made to prevent future occurrence. Whoever is holding the terrorist group, for me, and I've been checking through the media and public opinion over the years, we have not read of any major commander that has been arrested or any major group that were arrested, investigated, and diligently prosecuted and convicted. If we are tracing the spectrum of terrorism in Nigeria, particularly over the last 11 years, 2004, thereabout to now, we've not seen any major conviction. So I don't know where these leaders are surfacing from. If you call a criminal a leader, it must be a leader to the criminal groups. So what I am calling for is decisive action by government. Any government that pays ransom to terrorists must be aware that they are helping to fuel further terrorist activities. They are helping to grow terrorist gangs and groups. They are helping to find funds for them to buy arms, drugs, and communications to increase their range of operation. So it's not an ideal way to go. It is always good that security agencies are meant to go in there and see how they can do. But to me, and to any responsible thinker in security circles, the way to go is not to pay ransom. But as we can see in our environment, banditry, terrorism have now become a business of some sort. So there must be people who are benefiting big time from this business. Well, what we must understand about terrorists and their ideologies and their attitude is that they like to operate by propaganda, and that is trying to divide, influence the minds of the citizenry, or trying to buy support from the citizens. So by they making such an unsubstantiated statement, it's just another ploy to attract public attention and, of course, cause a bit of problem for government now that we are working towards the end of the tenure of this particular administration. Oh, and Saru, sorry, who that is now emerging in the northwest, north central areas. And the last train attack was it was reported that it was the Ansaru group that led that group. And it is believed that there's been a handshake between the bandits and the terror groups. They are now, it seems they are formed some kind of coalition, which is why it's different. It's difficult to find the fine line of divide between terrorism acts that they carry out and also the banditry acts that they. It is clear that there is the kind of bombs they used is clearly the signature of major terror groups, especially Boko Haram. And the style of operation, the way they move in bikes, in droves of, I don't know where, 100 motorcycles with three fighters. That's about 300 fighters with AK-47 and all sorts of sophisticated weapons. We move along any area, you will not hear the sound. So that's another challenge for us. There's a lot of ungoverned spaces which they find it easy to operate in. That needs to be plugged. Or to combat terrorism runs into years. We've had all sorts of models from across the world where you keep at it until you are able to weaken or hit the center of gravity of these groups. And the earlier that is done, the better for us in Nigeria. When you weaken a group, when you demoralize them, it's easy to negotiate with them. But if you do not do that, you are going to have keep going round and round in circles about terror and terrorism. And they must understand that the society as it is belongs to all of us, not to government, not to the military alone, not to the police alone. And that interrogates the need for us to revisit this issue of state policing and community policing. You can see how long it will take for security agents to come from Kaduna to go to the scene of action. If those communities have their own policing arrangement, it will even be difficult for these 100 and something bikes or 200 bikes to make it to that place without anybody raising alarm or preventing them or delaying their action.